Hi, I'm Brian Russell from Hall's Greenhouses BC and Russell Nursery. Today this video is going to go over the steps to assemble a Hall's two-tier staging for greenhouses. This is the finished product with two shelves on two levels, and this is the box that it comes in. And this company is an absolute master at packaging many small parts into a small box. And as you can see here, there's hardly a cubic inch of extra airspace in here. Okay, so I've got everything out of the box except for the aluminum slats. And there's 14 aluminum slats per shelf. And there are 4 corner pieces, 2 braces, 2 stabilizers, and 4 diagonal braces as well. And then there's the rails that go on the sides. And take note, there's rails that go on the top, and they have 2 holes here, and rails that go on the bottom shelf, and they don't have that second set of holes. I've already got the nuts and bolts separated. That's a handy thing to have. And these are the only tools that you need for this job. It's a 10mm spanner and a 10mm wrench. All right, so we're going to start by assembling the top shelf first, and we're going to be working with the shelf upside down. So take out your slats and just arrange them in approximately the right area. And you see I've taken the side rail, and I've got it sitting on the edge of my table, and I want to get these slots here lined up with those holes. And remember, because it's the remember that where we had those rails that have 2 holes, those are for the top. So we want to make sure that those are down and that the holes here are facing upwards. So just go along and align those so that this channel is directly in line with the hole into which you'll place a bolt shortly. And then we set the rail aside for a moment and get some bolts. And hold that down so that it doesn't move as you put the bolt in. And you just barely seat it in there so that it's lined on the edge. See where my thumb is? Hold it each time so that it doesn't move. Okay, I've got my bolts in there loosely. We'll take our rail. Remember to have these 2 holes up on the sides up. And then go through and very carefully, gently align those so that you can slide that on top. There, it's in there. Get some of the aluminum nuts. Put them on just loosely. It's quite easy to twist the head of the bolt off. Snug them up a little bit so that when you turn it over you don't see a space. Okay, so everything is done on one side, and now it's possible to pick this up and turn it around and lay it down on the table right on the edge like so, and get your bolts and go through exactly the same procedure as you did on the other side. Okay, the bolts are in. And we take our side rail and we make sure that the holes are up. Leave this one in the middle off. And we'll discuss the reason for that in a moment. Okay, so that's largely done, but what's missing is the stabilizer that goes into the center. Because these are just sort of, they're kind of pinched together, and if you had your staging set up in your greenhouse and somebody pulled on it while it was loaded, it would be possibly to pull the sides away. So we have one of these in, and it stabilizes the unit so that it's not possible to pull it apart anymore. Okay, so the top is done. We're just going to flip it over. And And you see there's no spaces in here. It's because I was pinching it together as I was turning it. And we have the top done. And the top, just leave it like that because it makes a very good template for laying the slats on for the second level. And that's that. So we can pick up the, turn it over, make sure that we didn't leave any spaces, that everything is nice and secure. And that you can just take and set someplace else because we won't need it for a moment. And then we start putting the legs on. So turn the one for the top, that's the one that has the two sets of holes here. Okay, so now you'll be glad that you aligned these properly because there's a little corner bracket that fits there and it stops the legs from folding up on you. So let's put one bolt in there like so. And that fits there onto the leg like that. Right, so now we're ready to put the bottom shelf on, and the easy way to do that is still to work upside down, and you get it loosely in place. And I always put them on there's different levels that you can attach them, but I generally put it on the second from the bottom. So that should hold it there, okay, while we work at the other end. And the last part of the process is to put these two braces in that stop it from rocking and provide some extra stability. The last thing that you want to do is make sure that you've tightened all your nuts and bolts. And when you've done that, it's time to take it off your work surface and set it up for use in your greenhouse. And that's what it looks like when it's finished. Thanks for watching.